Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Bree, aka The Booktrovert, here on YouTube. Today I'm very excited. I'm giving you my June TBR. Actually, we're not going to call it a TBR. We're going to call it a pile of possibilities because I happen to be participating in the Amazing Readathon. So, with that being said, I'm just trying to adjust my camera here because I can never get it to be straight. With that being said, I am going to just jump into my pile of possibilities here, starting with, let me just rewind here for a second. If you're not familiar with the Amazing Readathon, this is a readathon created by Bree from Four Paws in a Book. I will have her channel linked down below. I will also have all the hosts linked down below and all that good stuff. This is a readathon based off of The Amazing Race, and in fact, I will even link the video to what the Amazing Readathon is and everything on Bree's channel down below as well if you are not familiar. So there is essentially prompts that you do to travel around the globe to different cities and different places, and during that time, I think you have like 10 of those depending on how many cities we visit, but in between those prompts you are allowed to read city prompts, which can give your team extra points. So there are 5 tiers. There are 500-point prompts, 400-point prompts, 300-point prompts, 200-point prompts, and 100-point prompts. And then on top of those prompts, you can, side note, you cannot double up on them, and you can only submit one per, okay, yeah, you can only submit the prompt once. You can't redo the prompt. So on top of those points, you also get 50 extra bonus points if it is in the genre of the team that you are on. For me, I am on Team Spooky. Let's go Spooky Ghosts. I don't know what Spooky Ghosts. Let's go Team Spooky. And my hosts are Leandra and Alexi. I will have both of their channels linked down below. But obviously, if I read a book that is a thriller horror in my genre, then I would get an extra 50 points. Another way to earn 50 points is if you read from an author that is part of the LGBTQ plus, wow, words, part of the LGBTQ plus community. And then I think the final way to earn another 50 points is if you choose choose a book from one of the hosts' faves. So yeah, all this will be explained in Bree's video, or is explained in Bree's video, and on the Discord. So anyways, moving on. So we are going to start with the 500-point tier. So the first prompt on the 500 points prompt list is a book with exactly 5 words in the title, and for that I chose A Haunting on the Hill. So A Haunting on the Hill. That is exactly 5 words. This is by Elizabeth Hand. I'm very excited to read this. I meant to read this last year and never got to it, so that is an option. Another one is a book with footnotes. I'm very excited because I just picked this book up, and it is called Every Time I Go on Vacation Someone Dies by Catherine Mack, and this does have footnotes in it. I did confirm on Goodreads, but I also confirmed in person, so very excited about this one. I think that would be like a great book to read because it is the summer. The next book that I have is it's 4th book in a series. I don't own this book, but I have been wanting to read it. It's Twisted by Emily McIntyre. I read Crossed. These are standalones, so they're technically a series, but they're also like standalone series, so I'm gonna count it. Basically, what Vanessa said in her video, which I'll also have linked down below for her Amazing Readathon video, is if you're okay with the other team counting it, then count it. If you're not, then you probably shouldn't count it. But anyways, so Twisted will be for that prompt. Then we've got a book with all 5 vowels on the front cover. So for that book, I chose Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke and Other Misfortunes by Eric LaRocca. Obviously this has every vowel in it, A-E-I-O-U. And then the next prompt is a book with foiling on the cover, and it has to be the edition that you're reading. So This worked perfectly for my Fairy Loot edition of Evocation by S.T. Gibson. Also, I believe this would earn me another 50 points because it is LGBTQ+. But yeah, I just love this. It's so pretty. And then a book that Bree gave 5 stars. So I did stalk Bree's Goodreads and I found that she gave The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young 5 stars. This is on my TBR. Very, very excited to read this. I've actually been like itching to read this, so super excited. A book written before 2001. This was actually a lot easier than it should have been for me because I literally just got this book. It was published in 1993, so definitely before 2001. But I just picked this book up at a yard sale, and that is The Giver by Lewis Lowry. So very excited to get to that. Potentially get to that, I guess I should be saying. A book where with the person's name in the title. For that, I chose Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Sutanto. I can't wait to read this. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, and I think it's going to be so fun. And then then the next prompt is a book over 500 pages. So for that, I chose Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. This book has 514 pages. So also shout out to Vanessa for giving me this idea. And then the last 500 point prompt is a book with less than 1,000 ratings on Goodreads. So this book does have less than 1,000 ratings on Goodreads at the time of filming this. I will post my screenshot here. Darker by 4 by June C.L. Tan. This is also a Fairy Loot edition. Very, very pretty. So that is all the books for my 500 point prompt. Before I move on to the 400, 300 to, yada yada, I would like to clear up. Some of these are not thriller horror books because I am not using this readathon to buy more books. I'm using it to read the books that I currently have and try to whittle down my TBR. So with that being said, I did try to get as many thriller horror books as I could, but I am limited. So I did have to steal from other genres, but that's okay. I mean, this is just supposed to be fun. I know, I do take it seriously, but I'm not taking it so seriously because it's supposed to be a fun readathon. So moving on, let's go into my 400 point prompts. Okay, so here is the graphic for the 400 point city prompts. I also forgot to mention, I was not able to fill all these out. There's 10 prompts for each city prompt selection, so there's up to 500, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's 10 within each. So that would be 50 books on top of the 10 main prompts. That would be 60 books, and I know myself, that is not happening. That has never happened for me. If you can read 60 books in a month, that is amazing. I cannot. So I'm doing my best, but I wasn't able to fill out all of these prompts because I just started working on these today and just kind of picked books that I feel like I would actually gravitate towards this month. So I was able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 10 for the 400 point prompts. So I did get a book with a one-word title. For that, I chose Swiped by L.M. Chilton. This is a thriller novel, so that will give me an extra 50 points. And then I got a book with only words on the cover. So for that, I did choose a romance, but I'm very excited about this book and I really want to read it, so I wanted to include it. It is A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. This is a big chunker, so I will definitely have to be strategic in what I'm using my money for. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the money can be used to purchase either a plane ticket, a train ticket, or you can walk for free. A plane ticket obviously costs more, but you double your page count. A train ticket, you do normal, whatever the page count is, and then if you walk, it's free, but you have to cut your page count in half. So I'm gonna have to be strategic about that. But yes, very excited about that. And then I chose a book with one person on the cover. For that, I chose My Murder. actually Leandra recommended this to me, and it is, I believe, a thriller. So very excited. That'll get another 50 points. And then a book with more than 100,000 ratings on Goodreads. For that, I chose Throne of Glass. I have it over there. I will be listening to some of these because that is allowed. And I do have the audiobook for Throne of Glass, so I will be definitely trying to get this in while I can, because the wait time on the audio for Throne of Glass through my library is actually insane. And here's the proof that Throne of Glass has more than 100,000 ratings. An author uses initials, so for that I actually chose a book that has been on my TBR for years. And it's called The Girl in 6E. I actually saw this through Katie Colson's channel. She recommended this like a couple years ago, and I immediately bought it, but I just haven't read it yet. And the author does use initials, A.R. Torre, or Torre, I'm not sure. So that is an option. That is also a horror book, so that will give me a few more points. And then a book published in the same month as your birthday. Not only was this book published the same month as my birthday is actually in the title. So, The September House. I was born in September. Obviously, this is by Carissa Orlando, and this was actually published, I believe, September 5th. I cannot actually find the date, but I did look this up on Goodreads, and I know for a fact that this was published in September. But anyways, so yeah, The September House. And that is it for my 400 point prompts. Now we will move on to the 300 point prompts. Okay, so here is the prompts for the 300 points. I was only able to put together like 4 for this one. So the first one that I did put together was a special edition, and for that I chose Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. This is again a thriller. This is the Barnes & Noble special edition, where it's like a VHS tape that goes in this little case, and I love it so much and I can't wait to read it. Next is a book with an animal on the cover, and I guess I could have chosen either one of these. Well, I guess I could have chosen another book for this that is in this pile, but for that I did choose The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. I've heard so many good things about this and I cannot wait to read it. I got this off of Pango, and I have been itching to read it ever since it got delivered. But yeah, so obviously there is a cat on here, and this is in the horror thriller genre, so that will count for more points. A book with a weapon on the cover. I chose this. I was so excited to choose this. I chose Five Broken Blades by May Cortland. I've been hearing such amazing things about this book, and I have the audio from the library, so I definitely wanted to get to it while I could. And then lastly, a book with higher than 4.0 star rating on Goodreads. I will put the Goodreads rating here as proof at time of filming this. That book is Flock by Kate Stewart. I'm very excited to get to this, mainly because I've heard so many good things about this series, but also I want to finish collecting the indie editions before they go out of print, but I don't want to buy more books unless I like this book. So yeah, that is it for the 300 points that I have. Okay, so this is the prompts for the 200 points. City prompts. So for this I was able again to get 4, or put together 4 for this. First one is Jackpot Summer, which I don't currently have on me right now because I am waiting to order it from Book of the Month. That is a book with an illustrated cover. Then we have a book with a romance, and for that I decided to choose Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. Yeah, I've had this on my TBR for like a year now, and I'm very excited to get to it. Also thriller horror genre. And then we have, let's see, a 5-star prediction. So I chose The Gracier by Kim Liggett. I feel like this will definitely be a 5-star for me, and it is a thriller, so yay. And then lastly I chose an author's debut. For that I picked one of the authors that we will be interviewing for our book club, Host for Pros. The Discord is always linked down below if you want to join. No pressure, but I chose Threaded by Tay Rose. So yeah, very excited about this book. Okay, and then the last city prompt here is 100 points. Right here, obviously, I was only able to get 4 again. like a theme here. So the first one I got was a 2024 release. This could obviously be anything, and this is why I say it's a pile of possibilities, because this could always change, always. But for right now, I have Margot's Got Money Problems, which is another book of the month pick for June, but I don't have yet. The next one I did was a backlist book. This book has been on my TBR for probably 3 or 4 years, honestly. It's pretty backlisted, but that is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. So yeah. And then we have a book talk recommendation. For that, I actually chose The Locked Door by Frida McFadden. I love her books, and I've never read The Locked Door, but I hear everybody talking about it on TikTok, so I chose that. I'm very excited to get to it. Then we have a novella. For that, I actually chose our Host for Pros book club pick for the month, What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. It is a novella. I looked it up on Goodreads, okay? I looked it up on Goodreads. And then the last prompt that I was able to fill out was an author you've read before, and for that I went with a good tried and true Frida McFadden, One by One. I just picked this up this year and I can't wait to read it. So that is my pile of possibilities for this readathon. Obviously that's a lot of books, and this is not even including the books that are to fulfill the prompts, but I am hopeful that I will be able to at least whittle this down a little bit. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We've got 23 books here, plus the 10 prompts. That would be 33 books. I don't know that that'll happen, but you know what? You never know. So that is my pile of possibilities for June. I hope you guys, if you're doing the Amazing Readathon, I hope you guys have fun. I hope that you're really excited about your TBR. And yes, I will be vlogging every week, so I'll do weekly vlogs during June to kind of keep you up to date with how it's going for me and also keep myself accountable. Yeah, and I guess I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye!